What's up, my Storm Riders? StormeDegree 14 here, and welcome back to another nostalgic reaction. Still continuing our game of catch-up, we're going to be starting off on a highly anticipated review of Nostalgic's review of the original Beauty and the Beast by Disney. Now, this is actually a special for me because this, out of all the Disney movies, is my personal favorite. I feel like it's one of the better stories out of any of them. Again, this was part of the era when Disney actually made like a true name for itself, when it became the staple for animation. Unfortunately, times have changed, and believe it or not, it's actually been 3 years in a row. None of Disney's movies won any Oscars, or were hardly nominated for any, which is crazy to think about. Apparently it's their longest losing streak in history. If that tells you anything, it's pretty crazy information. But we're not here to talk about how bad Disney is now. We're here to actually talk about how good Disney was before. And again, I'm excited to see what Doug thinks of it. With that being said, let's relive this masterpiece in 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Doug! Woo!
Once upon a time,
The actual
there
Disney
lived an
castle.
enchanted company. It thrived on breaking new ground in technology, artistry, and entertainment.
And then everything went to
It
hell.
brought joy to both children and adults, and was deemed by many as the happiest place on earth.
Until...
But like many companies, they lost their way, and became greedy, selfish, and uninspired. Then one day, a writer appeared with a completely original idea. The company sneered at the script and turned the writer away.
Oh, I see what they're
But she
doing.
warned them there's only so long Pixar can get away with being the only department that didn't use existing IP. And when the company dismissed her again, her appearance melted away to reveal a beautiful enchantress. The company tried to
So you
apologize
cursed Disney
when they
to be
saw
the
she was
beast that it is
marketable
now.
and begged her to be a new Disney princess. But it was too late. She saw there was no creativity in their hearts. So as punishment, she transformed them into empty shells. Which, okay, wasn't that big a stretch. But all their animated classics transformed into soulless remakes. As the years passed, people got used to more and more bland replacements being pushed out. But nobody ever truly loved them. For who could love a company that seemed deceased?
I didn't know they made one for Lady and the Tramp, actually. Oh, jeez. Oh, the chart, guys!
Oh, sorry. That was my tum-tum. Haven't eaten all day.
Well, I told you we'd be able to eat faster if you just signed with your pen nails.
What are you guys doing here? It's come to our attention you've been reviewing Disney Renaissance movies.
Therefore, we'd like for you to look over Beauty and the Beast.
Why? I mean, I love that movie, but why now?
Our remakes have been slipping recently.
Even though Mufasa was the #1 movie in the world.
But wasn't Sonic 3 #1 in America?
#1
Yeah.
in the world?
I actually recently watched Sonic 3, and it's definitely fantastic. Definitely was everything I hoped it would be. So, I definitely recommend that over the Mufasa movie.
Okay. It's still not the numbers we wanted.
So we want you to remind the people that the Disney Renaissance can still make money.
You mean, it's still worth watching?
Tomato, tomato.
So get back to that.
You basically just want to make
Critiquing
more
thing you
cheap
do.
remakes.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll inspire you to take a chance on influential films again.
Did you
No.
hear what he said?
No, the word money was never mentioned.
And that's how companies work, folks. You don't say anything about money, they don't give a rat's ass. Funny, considering it's Mickey Mouse.
Let's try to find Disney's heart again.
Let's do it.
While Disney is certainly doing better than in 2023, there's still people tugging at their collars about what's coming out next. Inside Out 2, Moana 2, and Deadpool 3 were all big hit sequels.
Right.
And it looks like that's mostly all we're gonna be getting from them.
Ugh.
With the animated Beauty and the Beast, though, audiences were won over by, yes, a story everybody knew, but was so artistically elegant and emotionally delightful that it breathed new life into a tale as old as time. Being the first animated film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar, the first Disney film to become a stage musical,
Oh.
and even getting a 10-minute standing ovation at the New York Film Festival, with a version of the film that wasn't even finished. While
Wow.
other Disney movies have certainly become bigger hits, Beauty and the Beast achieved a similar success Snow White did years ago, by not only delighting children, but delighting adults so much it made them feel like children again.
It just shows you how adding actual heart and creativity into your films actually makes them worth watching, eh? Disney, I don't care what you do to me. If I die, hey, if they take me down, you'll know this is canon. Remember that.
Animated hits nowadays certainly appease both young and old, but they borrow a lot from the Toy Story / Shrek way of writing,
Yeah.
throwing in a lot of modern speak and adult-centered humor. Beauty and the Beast was different because it relied only on the charm of its beautiful animation, memorable songs, and delightful characters. There's nothing wrong with Robin Williams' jokes in Aladdin or Jack Black's catchphrases in Kung Fu Panda.
Right.
But imagine an animated film with similar success that had none of that. It just won you over because it made you believe in fairy tales again. There's a lot of very
is a good
grown-up
point,
techniques that go
actually.
into making you feel like a kid again, and we're gonna go into how this movie did it back in 1991.
I wonder
Because
if that was
sometimes we can forget
rotoscoped.
how important just good, simple storytelling can be.
What about a live-action remake of Moana 2?
We haven't even made a live-action remake of Moana 1.
Idiot! Always think ahead.
How about a live-action remake of Moana 3 before Moana 3 comes out?
Brilliant! Write the contracts. Nom 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 nom.
Delicious.
Let's take a look at
Take
Beauty and
those
the
papers
Beast.
away from them.
The film begins with maybe my favorite opening shot in any animated film.
Wow.
Lion King, of course, is epic, but on an artistic and technical level, this is just gorgeous.
It is.
As we're told about a spoiled prince who turned away an old woman looking for shelter, offering only a rose as payment.
Repulsed by her haggard appearance, the prince sneered at the gift and turned the old woman away.
His
Hey,
face.
you only look a touch less weird than your stained glass window version.
True.
The old lady becomes a beautiful enchantress and turns him into a beast and even curses the people who live there.
Casualties of a war they had nothing to do with. He didn't ask for that. Just trying to scrape out a living.
He's told if he can fall in love and have that love returned before the last petal on the rose falls, the spell will be broken.
As the years passed, he fell into despair.
In
And
fact, the
lost all
kingdom
hope.
kind of forgot they were even ruled by anybody. Yeah, wonder why he didn't go to his parents, the king and queen, to ask for help. Oh, the enchantress visited them too. Never mind.
I will say, this is actually the only time I will give the live action one piece of credit, and that they actually covered this plot hole, or this issue, where, after they turned, why did none of the people remember they were ruled by somebody? It's because the enchantress in that one magically erased people's memories so that they forgot who they were. Again, that's the only time I'll give that one credit, because it was bland and everything else. And even I remember in Doug's version, he also said that was fair too. But I did always believe that was a good change, at least. But regardless,
For who could ever learn to love a beast?
Yeah, you may have noticed this goes by textbook fairy tale rules and nothing complicated or literal like Belle inventing the first washing machine or anything.
yeah, well, it doesn't
And it
need
works
to.
wonderfully for this story. We go from someone like Snow White, who lived entirely in a world of emotional storytelling, to someone like Ariel, who was more modern but still had a pretty simple longing, to Belle, played by Paige O'Hara. On top of getting one of the best intro songs of all time, I mean, no
Right.
wonder this became a Broadway
It goes
show. This
the
is
bacon
clearly
with
taking
the
a lot of
strain,
Broadway
like
notes.
always.
But Belle is one of those few animated heroines who walks that fine line of almost being a Disney stereotype, but surprisingly balances out.
Must be more than this provincial
Life.
Yeah, she's pretty, has a nice voice, and is very dainty and elegant like many Disney ladies. But she's a touch more complicated without being too complicated.
Correct.
The town sings about how odd she is because she's a bookworm at a time when women didn't really read. She wants something more in her life, but doesn't quite know what. And she's longed after because she looks good, but she mainly just keeps to herself.
It's not right for
Yep.
a woman to read.
Gaston, you are positively primeval.
Why, thank you, Belle.
A similar archetype would either be too
Plus
perfect or
Gaston's
too
the best
whiny, but
antagonist.
because they have a clear understanding of this world and how she fits in it, she works out perfectly.
Here in town, there's only she who is beautiful as me.
Speaking of perfect, Gaston, played by Richard White, is also as perfect a villain as you can get.
Yeah.
He starts off as just a funny jerk, but organically becomes more and more evil because you can tell he's used to always getting what he wants.
Correct.
Don't I deserve the best?
And again, I can't tell you how many times. Honestly, I do think Gaston is one of my favorite villains of all time. Because again, he's definitely the one who paved the way for the very charming, very funny, but also like very sinister character.
Of course, I mean you do, but I'm just...
He's a hero, he's a badass. In any other Disney flick, he might have been the love interest. But it's that inability to look deeper that, just like the Beast, leads to his downfall. If the Enchantress didn't show up, the Beast probably would be just a richer version of this guy.
No beast alive stands a chance against you, and no girl for that matter.
It's true, LeFou.
Oh, there's also something funny about town, literally named after their physical attributes.
It's true, LeFou.
Belle, Lumiere.
Beast!
Mrs. Potts, dear.
Maurice?
Oh, that last one didn't sound right. Call him Mustache.
Dang.
I point out little details before, like how Belle is the only one to wear blue in this town, so she stands out more.
Right.
And despite everyone
Small
remembering
detail.
CG mainly being used in the chandelier scene, they do sneak it in at other moments, too. With that said, I was actually surprised there was no CG used for this shot. It's just really good drawings and layering. I love discovering things like that.
It's my favorite. Far-off places, daring sword fights, magic spells, a prince in disguise.
Isn't it nice when you can advertise other Disney films and your current Disney film at the same time?
Yeah.
How can you read this?
Well, at least it's a more subtle version of it.
There's no pictures.
Liar. Also, based on the way you're holding it, what
What
kind
do
of
you know?
pictures are you used to looking at?
I'll have this thing fixed in no time.
Belle's father, Maurice, played by Rex Everhart, is a bumbling inventor trying to enter his latest invention into the fair. He gets lost along the way, though, and stumbles across the Castle of the Beast.
Yep. Just look at the
Now, a lot
castle's
of people
design.
say if Lion King is ever re-released on IMAX, definitely go see it. Well, that goes the same for this film, because this castle is one of the most awesome castles in any Disney flick.
Yeah.
It manages to go from dark and gothic to enchantingly beautiful just by changing the lighting. Think about it. These two shots are the same room. That is just so cool to me.
That's incredible.
Hello.
We're introduced to Cogsworth and Lumiere, played by David Ogden Stiers and Jerry Orbach. And yes, I love how many people didn't know him and the Law and Order guy are the same person.
Oh,
Who
really?
welcome him to the castle.
I didn't know that either. I mean to let my mom know because she watches Law and Order all the time.
Soaked to the bone, monsieur. Come, warm yourself by the fire.
As the only person in France with a French accent for some reason, I welcome you.
Hello
The
there,
Ottoman
boy.
dog.
Okay, seriously. The dog got transformed?
Yeah.
Servants is weird enough, but what did the dog do to deserve this damnation?
Nothing.
Was he just a bad dog?
No.
But the Beast bursts in, played by Robbie Benson.
I don't know. Maybe cursing everybody around him will motivate the Beast to try harder because he won't just be doing it for himself. He'll be doing it for his people. Because that's what a king should do. I mean he's not a king, but he's a prince. He needs to care mostly for his people. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this.
And isn't as kind.
I just needed a place to stay.
I'll give you a place to stay.
Oh, please. Does it have internet?
You gotta admit, he is
Holmes
very
not prepares to marry Belle,
intimidating.
despite him not even asking her yet.
Well, the little ones play on the floor with the dogs.
Yeah, he's that
Have
confident.
6 or 7.
Dogs?
No, Belle. Strapping boys like me.
My Y chromosome will beat the shit out of your X chromosome to make sure no girls happen.
Good grief.
She, of course, turns him down, leading to a sweeping musical moment so beautiful, I have to point out the few rushed drawings that look hilarious freeze-framed. I want to derpy dorpy dorpy dorpy.
It's really funny. I want to flinch. How can she read if she's cross-eyed like that?
When her father's horse returns without it.
Where's Papa? We have to
Oh,
find him.
that's so
You have to
funny.
take me to him.
He might not have internet.
How did you find me?
She makes her way to the castle and discovers her father's locked up. Unfortunately, the Beast discovers her too.
Take me instead.
You would take his place?
She offers her life for her father, and he agrees, sending him back to the village.
He's no longer your concern. Take him to the village.
Walking carriage.
Even the spiders got transformed? How does this work?
I don't think that's a spider. I think that's the carriage driver.
Just a barrage of stagecoach webs throughout the castle?
The castle is your home now, so you can go anywhere you like.
Even though she's a prisoner, the Beast gives her free reign over the castle. And despite this rendition breathing new life into the story, it is cool seeing not only the influence of the 1946 classic, but also some other Disney influences like Sleepy Hollow.
No one says no to Gaston.
Speaking of which, our own Brom Bonehead here sulks over his rejection as LeFou, played by Jesse
yes.
Cordy, sings probably Disney's funniest villain song.
Yeah.
No one's next as incredibly thick
as Gaston.
Oh my.
Ellen Macon and Howard Ashman returned to do the songs, and do I even need to explain why they're so good? You probably have most of them memorized.
I use antlers in all of my decorating.
Even though there's countless animals that don't have decorating.
And by all, I mean half.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it goes without saying people have definitely had fun with the freeze frames here.
Yeah. Perfect. I was gonna say, this is a random note I always thought about in Beauty and the Beast. So, you know how in one of the songs early on, they talk about, like a woman says, I need 6 eggs, and then the guy says, that's too expensive. And Gaston says that he eats 4 dozen eggs every morning to get large. Now, my question is, does that mean Gaston is like super rich or something, or does he own his own chicken farm or something? I don't know. It was a weird question I always brought up. And I know it's a really weird moment to put it here, but I wanted to talk about it because you know what? I might as well need something to talk about because honestly, it was something I thought about. So let me know what you think. My bets are he's just rich.
My God, if that Gaston got with this Belle, I think you'd have Weasel from DC Comics.
Yes!
Help!
Yes!
Someone help me!
Maurice enters the bar, though, saying Belle's been captured by a beast, and of course, nobody believes it. Gaston sees this as an opportunity, leading to my favorite lyric.
Plans to persecute harmless crackpots like Gaston!
Slight spoiler, but it's worth it. As Belle is approached by Mrs. Potts, played by Angela Lansbury, and her son Chip, played by Bradley Pierce.
Want to see me do a trick?
Chip. Oops. That was a very brave thing you did, my dear.
We all think so.
What, blowing bubbles?
No.
Beast
Nice
discusses
reference.
the possibility of her breaking the spell.
You fall in love with her, she falls in love with you. We'll be human again by midnight.
It's not that easy, Lumiere. These things take time.
In most cases, it takes 3 days, maybe a month. Belle refuses to come down for dinner, though, resulting in the Beast once again losing his temper.
You can't stay in there forever.
Yes, I can.
Fine. Then go ahead and starve.
Seeing her waist? I think she is. Later that night, she leaves the room, and the servants offer her dinner.
I will say what this movie does better than the other Disney films as well is that it does, I think, draw out the relationship, I think, a little bit more, or focuses on it more than most, because that's one of the main things in the story. As well as I think they definitely portrayed the Beast as a relatable, but also, frustrated. You understand his situation, why he quick to get frustrated, but you understand he is trying to make it better for himself and everybody. I don't know, it's good character development.
Leading to the big showstopper, Be Our Guest.
Be our guest,
Yep.
we our guest, be our guest.
The song was originally meant for when Maurice arrives, but as the number got grander and grander, they figured it made more sense to put it in the middle of the flick.
Right.
And I think this makes sense because not only would it have been too much too early the other way around, but it allows Belle to make a connection with the servants and the castle,
Correct.
so it's not quite as threatening.
Correct. I mean, we just went through a moment where she realized she was going to be trapped forever and never see her dad again, so it makes sense that they would show her that she's not going to be treated like a prisoner, even though she technically is.
Lumiere offers her a tour, though Cogsworth thinks it might not be the best idea.
We can't let her go poking around in certain places, if you know what I mean.
She's not interrupting our game of put that stick of hot wax in my gears, catch my
Ew.
drift.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, nothing.
They do end up giving her a tour, but she gets separated and ends up in the West Wing.
Yeah, just look at this.
Let me play my favorite game. He loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. Okay, I took that.
That'd be awful.
It's too damn funny not to repeat. He throws her out and she happily complies until a bunch of wolves chase after her.
She's my dinner.
He fights
Look
them
at
off,
that.
leaving
Whoa.
him half dead. I know I've said this before, but her expression after he saves her is amazing. Nothing needs to be verbalized. You see everything going on in her head with this fantastic animation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, needs more blank emptiness. Okay, you saw my review the other day. You know my problems with it.
Yes, we do. Hermione, sorry, but you just didn't do a good job here. I don't know if it's necessarily your fault, but I'm going to say, yeah, it's your fault.
You'd hold still, it wouldn't hurt as much.
If you hadn't have run away, this wouldn't
Never
have
would
happened.
have
If you hadn't frightened me, I wouldn't have run away.
Mad about bees. We'll be right back.
Oh,
And
okay,
Sparks
clever
Fall
Admiral.
season.
That's right, some of this, a little of that, somehow one of these. And Prize Picks is all on board with it. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks. The best place to win cash while watching the big game. No, not that big game. That was the one your grandmother played in. I'm talking about the one where Prize Picks is giving away a free pick, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. Tell me more, announcer voice I've probably done to death, but I can't help it, I just love doing it. Tosh posh bagosh, I will. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Because Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Your permanent perky peppy announcer uses it too. I'm saying Patrick Mahomes will pass more than 0.5 yards. Jalen Hurts will do more than 0.5 rush and receive touchdowns. And Juju Smith-Schuster will do more than 15.5 receiving yards. It's that simple. Now with new mint flavor. Download the app today and use the code Nostalgia to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's download the app, use the code Nostalgia, and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. But oh no, did you cook anything for the big game? You, sir, are the devil and a butt. Fear not, that's why HelloFresh is here. Tired of figuring out what's for dinner night after night? Especially on those busy weekdays playing sports ball? Yes, that's the one. Get dinner done the easy way thanks to HelloFresh. HelloFresh's new read-made meals go from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. It's the same high-quality ingredients and restaurant-worthy flavor you expect from HelloFresh, just with none of the work. As you might assume, I am not that great a cook. How can I be playing so much sports ball? Okay, no, that's not sports ball. I'm not even gonna. But HelloFresh saves me so much time with easy to follow instructions.
You need a better life if you're playing that.
I love how someone like me who manages to burn water can find cooking easy, fun, and delicious with HelloFresh. I'm having fun just talking about wee fun. So don't be the last one to get on board with America's #1 meal kit. Get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/Critic10FM.
Yeah, I think I'm just good on an all-chip and pizza diet.
Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/Critic10FM. Now are you ready for sports ball? Some of you might be wondering, what is sports ball? Who am I? Where am I? I'm scared. Goodbye.
I'm scared.
Back in town, Gaston makes a deal with a Frodo prototype to throw Maurice in an asylum if Belle doesn't agree to marry him.
Oh, that is despicable.
I love it.
I love it.
It's then revealed this was one of the inmates of the asylum. He's put back in a straitjacket, and the real official says, yeah, we'll do it. We just need double the money.
I've never felt this way about anyone.
At the castle, Beast is so taken that she brought him back and nursed him to health that he wants to do something nice for her. So he gives her his library.
Right.
You have to close your eyes.
Or put meme glasses and white text over them, either works.
I've never seen so many books in all my life.
You're supposed to do that to Ariel, not to Belle.
Then it's yours.
When you consider they don't actually start acting nice towards each other until the 50-minute mark, you realize how quickly but efficiently they set up their chemistry.
Exactly.
They don't just see each other and fall in love, it has to be built over time. It works because the acting and animation is creating quick, but still charming chemistry. There's little touches showing them both making an effort to understand the other. And of course, the music.
And now he's dear and so unsure.
I should really give a chance to my captor.
When I'm human again, only human again.
Oh, right. I guess I should talk about the song To Be Human Again added to the original version. When they re-released on IMAX, they added this additional song, and I guess it's not bad, but it's not really needed. I mean, that's literally 3 songs in a row with only a few seconds breaks in between. The only thing it does add is one more scene between Belle and Beast, which I feel like the movie does kind of need.
Could you read it again?
Well, here, why don't you read it to me?
Just going from them singing There Might Be Something There to instantly the big romantic night is a touch quick, even by Disney standards. I do feel like they needed one more moment in between to smooth it out, and this doesn't do that bad a job of that. Still, that doesn't take away from everyone falling in love with its flagship song sequence, Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Barely even friends.
Now this is perfect.
Then somebody bends.
I know this is a weird thing to compliment, but I like unexpected things happening during this sequence. The dog.
Like when Stitch was climbing up the chandelier. Oh wait, that was just the one trailer for Lilo and Stitch, but you all know it.
Barks, and then the Beast isn't sure he remembers how to dance. He wasn't even expecting to dance until Belle unexpectedly dragged him in. The painted angels are possessed. They're just little things that show not every detail has to be perfect, and sometimes that can make it even more delightful.
Right.
As the sun will rise.
The chandelier shot everybody praises almost didn't happen because they had no idea if it would render in time. The technology just wasn't advanced enough yet. So, as a backup, they're going to have the entire room be dark and have just one spotlight on them the whole time. So you can see the rest of the background. Smart idea, but I'm glad the glitch gremlins allowed us to see this final version. I feel like if not, it might have looked like a Super Nintendo game.
Nice.
If only I could see my father again. Just for a moment.
When Belle starts missing her father, though,
Right,
he
he
says
sets
he
her
has a
free.
magic mirror that he swears he didn't use to spy on her at inappropriate moments. Not twice, anyway. And she sees he's freezing to death trying to save her.
He may be dying, and he's all alone.
Then you must go to him.
Well, thanks, but the time it takes to change out of this dress, it might make sense to have somebody just bring him here.
Go to him.
I mean, he's closer to the castle than he is to the village. I just think it'd be smarter if...
Go to him.
You just want your bachelor pad back, don't you?
I miss my laptop alone time, you know what I mean?
Good grief. I mean, considering the magic mirror, yeah, kind of.
She does save her father, but Chip stows away as they both try to convince him that the Beast has changed.
He let me go.
That horrible beast?
But he's different now, Papa. He's changed somehow.
I guess this is as good a time as any to talk about all the Stockholm jokes made over the years. Kind of like with the song Baby It's Cold Outside.
It's kind
the
of
jokes
inevitable.
made about it are funny. I'm not going to deny that. But when you
Yeah.
get people taking it literally like it's a serious problem, I think that's kind of silly. First
Yeah.
off, she's released twice, and she does go. It's only when the Beast's life is in danger that she goes back, and even then she's doing it after he saved her life.
Right.
Second, this is kind of like when people went nuts there was a gay character in the remake, like, oh my god, you can't have that, but literal bestiality was okay. I just don't think you're supposed to think this much about a fairy tale.
No, that's the whole point. Again, people overthink about some details, and then other people... Well, like, it starts off as a joke, and then some people, like you said, they take it too seriously, and then they end up ruining it for everybody else. And that's the internet in the nutshell for you, so... Yeah. I mean, I'm actually kind of upset what they did with Baby It's Cold Outside, because I honestly do like that song, but it is kind of ruined for me based on how people reacted to it, so... I guess it is what it is, but...
May I help you?
I've come to collect your father.
As mentioned before, Gaston's about to have Maurice committed. By the way, I love the name they go with. But Belle shows him that the Beast is real. When Gaston sees she has feelings for the Beast, he immediately tries to destroy him. Because that should win her over.
The beast will make off with your children. He'll come after them in the night.
No.
We're not safe till his head is mounted on my wall.
Tell us more, expert, who a moment ago said he wasn't real.
Through your courage to the sticking place.
We're counting on Gaston to lead the way.
They sing Kill the Beast, which is kind of cool. It's like we got a villain song and a half in this.
Yeah.
And while the Beast sulks, the castle tries to fight off the intruders. Wow, that is some intense body horror right there.
The implication is horrible.
The servants fight them off, but Gaston makes his way to the Beast.
Come on out and fight.
This fight is animated great and choreographed great, and man, they do not make G movies like this anymore.
No. I really wish they would.
I think this would definitely be a step above rude humor.
Please, don't hurt me.
Gaston cries like a little bitch, which is so great to see.
Yeah.
And just like Belle's wonderful expression when she knows saving the Beast is the right thing to do, Beast gets the same expression when he does the right thing, thinking back to Belle's kindness.
Unfortunately, Gaston
gets more
backstabs.
stabbing, causing him to lose his balance and fall. Apparently he got a vision from Skeletor before he died too.
Oh.
Who does that cabbage think he is?
I didn't realize
He starts
that.
to fade as Belle is there to say goodbye.
At least I got to see you one last time.
Vanessa.
Who's Vanessa?
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, come on.
Belle confesses her love for him though, which, you guessed it, breaks the spell and brings him back to life.
Yeah,
okay. Let's talk about the Beast's human design. First off, it's weird he doesn't get a human name. People tell me it's Adam, but if they don't say it in the movie. If he's credited as the Beast, I don't care.
Yeah, no, why is that something I never thought about? Oh my gosh, the entire time I actually never thought about his human name.
Count it. Second, the director said because like Belle, we all fell in love with the Beast, no human design for the prince would ever be good enough. I don't think that's true. Look at him compared to the other Disney princes. He just doesn't look right.
No, his nose is a little too big. You think they got Flynn's nose wrong? They got this guy's nose wrong. And Lumiere looks like a weird version of Luigi.
He looks like a Prince of Egypt character drawn by a Quest for Camelot animator. When I was a little kid, my grandma was watching this with me and went, "Ew, turn him back to the buffalo dog." Whatever. All the servants turned back to normal. I think I like feather dusters now. They reuse the animation from Sleeping Beauty. The kingdom remembers they have a patriarchal government, and they live happily ever after. So that was Beauty and the Beast. Big surprise, it's still fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, this is easily top 5, hell, maybe even top 3 best animated Disney films of all time.
Personal best.
Little Mermaid reset the groundwork for what a Disney fairy tale should be like. This perfected it. You can still watch it and notice little touches in the background and foreground that make it even more artistically pleasing. It's very easy to buy the chemistry between these two, despite it being another quick fairy tale romance.
Correct.
The songs and score are hummable and achieve everything they're supposed to achieve. All the characters are memorable and still being celebrated today. It truly is the definition of a Disney classic. You can do as many crappy remakes and spin-offs as you want, but at the end of the day, there's only one animated tale as old as time.
Perfect.
Well?
Goodness, I forgot how wonderful that movie really was.
Yes, I feel, dare I say it, inspired.
That's all I needed to hear.
Oh my gosh, are we gonna get good movies now? I hope so. And nothing happened.
What? I don't feel any different. Do you?
Just about as safe and lifeless as ever.
Did you even transform them to begin with?
No, I just like making things glow. Pretty.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Got it! Star Wars meets Captain EO in the Mars Needs Mom sequel.
Ooh, so many dead people we can awkwardly bring back to life.
Somebody
shoot them.
Look at what I'm wearing. I'm clearly nuts.
Oh, I gotta see that part again. That really fast-paced.
I'm clearly nuts.
Yeah, no lessons were learned.
We can't let her go poking around in certain places.
Yep. That went about just as I thought it would. Yeah. I do think that Beauty and the Beast is definitely one of the best, personally think the best of the Disney films at the time. Because, again, I feel like the love story always does do very well. Again, it is at the same, like you said, it's at the same pace, but they take the time to subtly show the emotion and the interactions that these characters have with each other. And it's those little moments, even if short, that make a big impact on the story. It makes you feel like you've known these characters for a long time. Or like you know exactly what they're going through and you start to connect with them better. It's definitely one of the things that makes a good film for it. You know, like, I don't know. But unfortunately, with Disney's choices now being the greedy tyrants they are, and unfortunately, I think we're almost doomed to have them monopolize almost every animation medium, which I really hope is not the case, because that would be awful. Well, you can only see where the poor mouse, the poor evil mouse will take us. Hopefully we can put a stop to them and finally get them back in their place, but who knows. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to check out my other videos, support Nostalgia Critic, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!